Hello, my name is Elmer Moore, and I'm the project team leader for Scale Up Milwaukee. I'm very excited to introduce the brothers, the founders, and the operators of Fyxation Bikes. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
Hey Elmer, thanks for having us. I'm Nick Ginster, co-founder of Fyxation Bicycles and lead designer.
And my name is Ben Ginster. I'm the other co-founder of Fyxation, and we are a local bicycle manufacturer, leather goods manufacturer, and we're actually just about to open up our first retail store right here in Milwaukee.
That's great. So tell me the creation story of Fyxation.
Well, Elmer, we got started about 7 years ago. At the time we started our business, I was actually living and working in Taiwan. I've been in the bicycle industry for almost 20 years. We saw a hole in the market at the time for a product that was a bicycle tire. Actually, was our first product. We saw a hole in the market, and Ben and I got our heads together, and after some crazy ideas, we decided to launch our own mold for a bicycle tire. Go ahead and compete with the likes of Continental and Goodrich and some of the huge guys out there. But yeah, we opened a mold for a tire, and that's what got our start.
Interesting. And tell me about that moment in the early years when you figured out that you had something worth growing.
I mean, we got together regarding the idea for the tire. Nick was in Taiwan doing something else at the time, and I was doing something else, and we hashed the idea for the company. We came up with a name for the company, name for the product, but we had to make an initial investment in a mold, which isn't cheap, but also we had to kind of place an initial stocking order for inventory. So yeah, it was a very interesting time, a little stressful, but luckily we were able to partner with a local company in Milwaukee, Ben Cycles, they're on the south side, and they actually were our first customer order, and sort of were what kind of we used to sort of decide to go ahead and launch the company.
So you know, one of the things that we talk a lot about at Scale Up Milwaukee is what we call the entrepreneurship ecosystem. And what I'm hearing from you is it was to the benefit and because of another company that you were able to actually find success with Fyxation.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, I'd love to hear you give some advice to other companies that are growing for how to find and take advantage of those kinds of opportunities to collaborate and coordinate with other businesses.
I mean, I guess for us, you know, my number one advice for someone kind of looking to start a business is we've been very methodical as we've grown over the years and very kind of cautious about how we do something. So for us, the decision to start the company was one thing, but we kind of wanted to have just that validation from a customer to say, hey, let's go ahead and there's actual demand for this product. So my advice is, you know, before you kind of jump in head first and start borrowing money or kind of using your own capital, make sure there's actual demand for what you're thinking about doing. So whether that's through market research or actually trying to pre-sell. So, and that's one piece of advice that I could offer. I don't know if Nick, you have something else.
Yeah, I think along with that, you know, we've been kind of able to leverage different relationships that we've had. The relationship with Ben Cycle wasn't a new one at the time that we got our business started, but as Ben said, it helped to validate the idea that we had for a product, help us give us a little bit of confidence to kind of jump off that entrepreneurial cliff, if you will, and get the company rolling.
I love it. I love it. So I want to talk about our favorite subject, which is growth. Tell me how you've been growing over the last couple of years, and tell me what you're going to do to chase growth now.
I mean, so I guess I can field that, Nick. You know, we started the first year, 2009. We had one tire, one size, and a couple colors, and that was 100% of our sales. 2010, the tire represented maybe 80% of our sales, but since then we've expanded into pedals, saddles, additional parts and accessories, frames, and last year bikes. So, you know, we've been able to kind of grow by expanding our product offering, but also kind of seeing sort of trends developing in the bicycle industry and trying to kind of, because we're small, we can move quick and kind of trying to jump ahead of the trends and take advantage of that. So, I mean, we probably after that first year or two, we've probably been averaging maybe 30 to 40% growth per year, which we're pretty stoked about. Yeah.
That's amazing. And what about moving forward? What are you going to do?
I mean, number one, moving forward, to continue to kind of develop additional product kind of expand. We're originally kind of more of an urban bicycle company slash kind of like a lifestyle company, using bicycles for transportation but also for fun. And we kind of been expanding outside of that a little bit. We just introduced kind of a more sort of mountain, dirt, snow-oriented product, so we have additional kind of product expansion. But another big thing we're doing is opening this new retail location in Milwaukee, which gives us an opportunity to introduce the area, the city, the state to our brand, but also obviously create an additional sales channel.
I think that's great. So I understand you two grew up here in Milwaukee, but you're creating something that could be a global brand. Do you have sales internationally yet?
We do, yeah.
That's fantastic. So why are you still in Milwaukee? Why have you chosen this place to be the home of your operation and where you're going to grow?
Go ahead, Nick.
Well, Elmer, I mean, this is definitely home here in Milwaukee, and we've there's a lot of factors that kind of keep us here. I mean, number one, we have our roots here. We have a strong following in the community, but like Ben said, we already are a global company. We have distributors in many countries throughout the world, from Asia to Australia to Europe, and we always joke our first product was the East Side bicycle, named after the east side of Milwaukee, and the city with the most east sides is Tokyo. But we feel that Milwaukee, the ethos of Milwaukee, is core to ourselves and our brand. We strive to make products initially for people who are commuting, who are using their bicycles for transportation, using it as a lifestyle, and that's really a core value of a lot of the riders here in the city. And we're kind of using that to bring our brand and our roots in Milwaukee to the nation and the world. And if you kind of look at our marketing and our advertising, we're proud of the fact that we're here. Our photographs are, we use local scenery, we use local riders, and that translates into, the sales we have in Tokyo. They're responding to the lifestyle of our city here in Milwaukee.
So what's interesting to me about this is you're telling me that you're leveraging the natural assets of Milwaukee.
Absolutely.
But when I look at your company, what I see is that you sell functional but very cool product. Milwaukee is not known for being a place that's cool. How do you do that?
I have to disagree. There are parts of the city and things that we do here in Milwaukee that are extremely unique, and we kind of leverage that. Our products, we always try to make them affordable, functional, high quality, and like you said, cool. But if you look at the types of products that we're using in riding, you'll see them here in River West where we have our headquarters. You'll see them down in the 3rd Ward, the 5th Ward, Bayview. We have all these pockets of energy, of creativity, of art, of product design, and that type of aspect we're able to bring into our company. I mean, we have a huge manufacturing background here in Milwaukee, which we've drawn on. I'm personally a mechanical engineer. I've worked for a number of companies in the area, but I mean, we have wonderful design companies that are large, like Harley-Davidson, much smaller design firms like Scale down in the 5th Ward. So we have all kinds of cool, and you got to kind of like go into the city and find it. I mean, 2 weeks ago we had the Mama Tried motorcycle show, which in the 2nd year is drawing a huge crowd, and that thing's going to blow up. And we have all this fun energy in the city, and we're just another sort of lens into seeing that.
I appreciate that. One of the things that we're trying to do is proliferate the idea that not only is Milwaukee cool, but Milwaukee is the place for growing businesses. There are, like I said before, natural assets. This is a town that's known entrepreneurship for over 100 years. Places like Harley-Davidson are a perfect example of that. How do you all see yourselves participating in that legacy?
I mean, we don't think of ourselves obviously as another Harley, and maybe in the future we'll be there. But we're hardworking. We're Midwest to the core. We're innovative, and we're kind of scrappy, and I think that's kind of how we go about our day-to-day business. I think that's kind of how we kind of like to see ourselves fitting into the area. I mean, we're growing fast, and people might not know about us now, but they're about to pretty soon.
I like the sound of that. So I'm gonna turn the the page just a bit, I'd love for you all to give some advice for other entrepreneurs looking to grow their businesses. Which stumbling blocks have you all encountered that are surmountable that you could share your wisdom for?
I mean, I think one thing that I can speak to is, Ben and I have a partnership. Of course, this partnership was started long ago. We're brothers, so we've got a lot of that, the fighting out of the way early in our lives. But I mean, in a business, mistakes are made, hiccups are made. Sometimes it costs money, sometimes it costs time. And the way you react to these type of stumbling blocks is really going to set you up for success or failure. If everything that comes along is a catastrophe, you're not going to last very long. You have to really, if you're partnering with someone, you have to go into it knowing that there's going to be highs and lows, and the way you kind of navigate those is really a big part in determining your success.
I mean, I also think, there, like Nick's saying, there are going to be ups and downs, and every day it almost seems we have a new challenge that faces our business, and you have to, number one, be able to kind of meet it head on, try to be as positive and enthusiastic as possible going forward, but know that if you're comfortable with what's happening today, it might change drastically tomorrow, and you have to adapt and evolve pretty quickly or to kind of stay ahead of things.
I think that's very sound. I think one of the most important parts of being a growth entrepreneur is adaptation and recognition of the challenges that you're currently facing. Gentlemen, I really appreciate your time. Any final words before we sign off?
We appreciate the time today, and Nick, you can continue. We're excited to kind of be here in Milwaukee. We're excited to show the city of Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin what's next.
Great.
Yeah, I'm right. We're, as Ben mentioned, we've just recently, within the last 2 months, relocated our design center, our warehousing, and from the Menominee Valley to River West, we're actually going to have our own retail location. So we're excited to invite people in to come and see firsthand what we do. We're a local company with our doors wide open for anybody to come in and check us out.
I love it. I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks a lot. This is Elmer Moore from Scale Up Milwaukee signing off.
Thanks.